I was like watching this and I was like, movie, good, fun. And then I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah. It definitely, I think, is going to be a turnoff for actually a lot of people because it's not a movie that holds your hand at all. It's very chaotic in the way it tells the story.
Hey Jess, how's it going?
It's going all right. How are you, Grace?
I'm doing good. As you heard, those are our names. In case it's confusing. And this is Dashboard Discourse.
Welcome.
Wow. We didn't even plan that.
Today we're going to see, what are we going to see, Grace?
Oh goodness, The Bride! Exclamation point. Oh my god. Who are we becoming? The Bride is directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Mm-hmm. I think it has her brother Jake Gyllenhaal.
It does have Jake in it.
He's not the bride.
Could be if you wanted to.
It has Christian Bale and it has Jessie, who I just call Jessie. Like, I never use her last name.
Yeah.
Jessie Buckley. Jessie because we're on a first name basis. That is my friend.
She's my bestie.
It's a shared bestie experience.
I love her.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to avoid too many details, but they find me.
I have too, but I did want to do a little bit of research because last week you mentioned Maggie and I was like, who are you talking about? Of course I know Maggie. The first thing I think I remember ever seeing her in was Mona Lisa Smile. Did you ever see Mona Lisa Smile?
I've not watched Mona Lisa.
Do you know what it's
Smile.
about?
No.
It has got Julia, what's the actress with the beautiful wide smile? She's like in a lot of rom-coms.
Julie Andrews? No. Julia.
No.
Julia. She's in Notting Hill.
Yeah. Isn't her name Julie or Julia?
I don't know.
Anyways, iconic smile. Love Mona Lisa Smile. The premise is it's like an all-girls boarding. Actually, it's a college. Mm-hmm. It's like Dead Poet Society, but the women version. And she's an art history teacher. And she has this new position at the school and these like young women. It's like a coming of age story. And so they're all exploring what it means to be a woman in this world and like their brains and not like settling for less than what they deserve. Anyways, that was the first thing I saw Maggie in. And I love that movie.
Yeah.
And then to prepare for this movie, I watched The Lost Daughter, which was a rewatch for me. And I also watched The Kindergarten Teacher.
And those all have Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
Very cool.
She directed The Lost Daughter.
Oh,
and that also has Jessie in it.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask, as if you knew, as if you're Google, if this was her directorial debut.
It is not. She directed The Lost Daughter. And then there's one other thing on her letterbox, but I didn't look at it. It might be like a short film.
Yeah.
Like
Very cool.
some other obscure product. But I would recommend The Lost Daughter. Mm-hmm. Maybe. You may, I don't know. You might not like it. It's very... It's a very nuanced film, and it's a little uncomfortable and unsettling, but it's beautifully done. It's really interesting. It's just like slower paced. I'd put it in the same category as like Sorry Baby, as far as like tone and
I did love Sorry
which
Baby.
you did love, so maybe you would love it. But
yeah,
very
cool. I'm really excited for it. The things that I've picked up about it is that it's definitely like leaning towards one of those female rage movies, which I love.
Yeah.
There are some controversial, crazy things that they took out, apparently. There was a screening. You know, they do these screenings where it's like that's where they get rated and all that stuff. And it's not a spoiler because it didn't happen. But there was a scene when Frankenstein is like licking vomit off of the wife of Frankenstein's neck. And yeah, the screen testers were like, you can't have that.
I don't know.
I've
seen crazier things in movies.
Let your freak flag fly. Whatever.
Which is very on theme for Maggie, both in like movies she's been an actress in and what she directs.
Yeah, that's definitely. I feel like I've mainly seen her as like guest appearances in TV shows. Maybe like that's where I recognize her face from.
Okay.
Can I tell you which ones? No.
Yeah, no, she's really comfortable with the uncomfy.
Yes.
Which I respect.
Yeah, and so I'm really excited. And I also saw that this is her first time directing her brother, Jake Gyllenhaal, in anything.
Yeah.
And she said that was really exciting. She did an interview with Ryan Coogler about it. Okay. And he, like, loves siblings. Like, that's, like, part of his whole shtick. Like, that's why he did, like, Smoke and Stack this last year. He's just, like, obsessed with siblings. So, yeah, that's pretty much... I'm going into it fairly blind. I've been trying to keep it contained. Especially because we're seeing movies that are less, like, phenomenon-y. Like, Wuthering Heights was kind of crazy. The Bride would have been really big in the fall, I think. They moved it because Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein was coming out. And I think that was unfair to them. I think that they should have kept 2 Frankenstein movies, especially one because it was straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
There were only a few screenings. And I think it would have done really good, like, as a companion movie to that. So
I think sometimes it's almost like there's a healthy competition when similar themes are released at the same time. It gets people to the theaters even more.
I agree. There's one thing, actually. So I listened to this podcast called Plot Twist. I've told you about it. And it has Victoria Aveyard, who did, like, the Red Queen series, and Soen Chainani, who did the School for Good and Evil series, which I only knew as, like, a TV show. Or not a TV show, but the movie that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I never read those. I think I was just out of that middle grade when that was all getting popular. I was in, like, high school. But I have mad respect for middle grade. I think that was just, like, more middle grade than I was used to. Like, I liked Percy Jackson and stuff like that. Not the point of this. So something that they do in the movie world is that they look at the releases throughout the year and they see what's competing, and things get moved around based off of similar themes and stuff like that. That's why, like, we don't get 2 pirate movies in the fall. Like, we might get one in the fall and in the winter. And, like, they do put a lot of horrors out at the same time, but, like, if 2 horrors are too similar, one gets moved to the next year, stuff like that. But they don't do that in, like, publishing with books. And so Victoria Aveyard is coming out with a book this fall called Tempest, and it's, like, a pirate fantasy, which I'm really, really excited for.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, and on the same day, another pirate historical epic is coming out, basically. And it's coming out, like, on the same day. They have very similar, like, not super similar covers. I think her new cover is, like, very unique. But she was talking about that. She's just like, there is, like, a level of healthy competition, but, like, 2 pirate books on the same day, like, nobody's gonna go buy 2 pirate books on the same day.
No, that is so interesting and funny, because I don't know if you remember this. We went to go see the How to Train Your Dragon live adaptation, and afterwards I was like, Grace, like, why is no one writing books about Vikings? And as a sub point, I said, like, or pirates, like, I want more fantasy romantasy at sea. And you're like, just write it. And I was like, no. But I love that that's, like, an upcoming trend in literature, and hopefully in movies too. Yeah,
I do think, like, Viking and pirates are, like, an untapped Western trope. Not like but you know,
concept.
Especially in fantasy. Like, a lot of fantasy is just, like, England and Wales.
And dragons and hills and castles.
So I'm really excited for it for her new book. So, but that podcast, it's, like, them talking about, like, plot twists in their careers and stuff like that. So it's, like, all about their, like, writing lives and what they think about the publishing industry and stuff. I love it. But yeah, that's not my hot topic.
That's okay. Anything else popping in your life lately?
No, I think that's kind of, like, where I've been. I've just been watching movies, living my life, stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
I did want to share, I went to go see the new Pixar movie yesterday, Hoppers.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
I thought it was darling.
Oh, really?
I loved it. Yeah. I do enjoy a good Disney movie, and I feel like they've really just, like, missed the mark for the last several years. Like, they're just doing live action remakes of everything, and it feels cheap and like a money grab. Yeah. But I do really love Pixar and what they do with their animation studio, and this movie was really cute. Yeah. I didn't give it, like, 5 stars, but I gave it 4 stars. It had me, like, laughing, deep belly laughing a handful of times, and I also cried a little bit during, like, one of the scenes. Yeah. So. I feel like I haven't watched, like, a cartoon in a long time because I haven't been excited for any of them. Yeah. And, like, I do love, like, cartoon movies, like kids movies and stuff like that. I think they're so darling when they can be.
but nothing has like made me excited. Like, I don't think I saw a Hoppers trailer and I was like, yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, I don't even remember seeing a trailer, actually.
I did see a trailer.
Did you?
But it meant nothing to me.
It was something I did love about it, and I think a lot of people are gonna love about this, is it felt really simple in its message and accessible, not only for like kids but for adults to understand the like message they were trying to portray. And I think it's gonna inspire a lot of kids' curiosity. Do you know what it's about? Somewhat.
Big bear, little gopher.
Yeah, there is a big bear. There's a beaver. Okay. General premise, this girl does not fit in. She really cares about animals. She really cares about the environment, but she's also got some like rage issues.
Yeah.
She has this really beautiful connection to her grandma, and her grandma teaches her like, hey, like, let's go out in nature and be still and quiet and like look at all this beauty around you. And like when you're part of something like this and like you're part of something bigger, like that's all that matters. And so like her grandma teaches her like some really beautiful life lessons about like being connected to nature and being curious about it. Grandma passes away, and then big bad mayor wants to build a highway over the glen.
Spoilers.
where all the nature lives. This all happens like within the first 5 minutes of the movie. So that's like the like whole setup. And so yeah, I think a lot of kids are like seeing this movie, or they're going to see this movie, and they're gonna say like, oh, I want to go outside and I want to get offline and I want to like be with animals and have something to be passionate about, be part of something bigger.
One thing that I really do love about the kids media trend is that they stay very critical still. Like the Mitchells versus the Machine on Netflix, brilliant movie. I think they're coming out with a sequel actually.
Yeah,
but it's like this huge like anti-AI movie, and it's about like the downfall of like too many screens and stuff like that. Wild Robot was all about the world in like a similar way. Flow, which is, I think it's kind of a hard kids movie to sell because it's completely silent. It's just music and just like watching it along, and I think that, and I don't know if it was like made for kids, but a lot of kids are watching it.
I think that works. I just want to like side tangent. Bluey, huge with children. I was watching it with my nieces, and one of the episodes, zero audio other than like a little bit of music and some rain falling. And they were captivated the whole time. I don't think the kids need that much stimulation. But
I did watch this video, and like obviously these like one-off videos aren't like indicative of everything, but it was this video of like these YouTubers like interviewing little kids, and they're like, what's your favorite cartoon? He's like, what's a cartoon? And they were like, you know, like, what do you watch? And he's like, YouTube. And they're like, do you watch anything else? And he's like, videos online. And then like, what about like, you know, like,
YouTube's supposed to be like the biggest platform for streaming, like above Netflix.
But like the things that kids watch, like even like my baby niece, like what she watches on YouTube, like they're not cartoons, it's like kid influencers and stuff like that. And so I do think like kids watching cartoons is not a bad thing. I don't think screen time is a bad thing, but as long as it's like kid focused stuff and not like, and I do think like child influencers aren't for kids. I think like those are for adults in its own complicated, messy way. I'm not getting into that, but like I love these cartoons, and I think that they're like sending good messages, but I don't know if kids are watching them. Like it used to be like these kids movies would like sell out. And like now I don't know, like
I feel like our theater was like 60% full. There were definitely like families with kids giggling, but it wasn't completely full.
And then like Wicked was like marketed to kids and families when that is like not a kid and family movie.
No.
Anyway,
like the messages were much more mature. Yeah, it's interesting. There was a preview for another Toy Story movie, which I was like,
oh wow,
are we making a fifth one? Like I was happy with the first three.
Jessie and Woody confirmed siblings in this one.
So I saw the preview and I have mixed feelings about it. We don't need another Toy Story, but the message is similar to what you're saying, and it's like the kid in the movie gets a little iPad. And so it's like that's the battle, is the toys are like, we need to fight for our children's attention. And I find it so interesting that it's Disney and Pixar who are putting out these movies, because they're notoriously bad for the environment. They are big tech. They are part of the problem, but they're still telling kids, like, maybe log off.
But it's like, it's the corporation part of it that is. It's like the animators, the writers, the people who are creating these things care so deeply. And like, that's why they become artists. But the only way to get paid as an artist is like working in these like evil corporations. So.
Really interesting.
So yeah, very interesting.
Go see Hoppers if you want to. I think it's really cute. Yeah. It'll be out on streaming, I'm sure.
Soon enough. Disney Plus like owns Hulu now, and then Warner Brothers owns HBO, and then Netflix got paid for backing out of the deal because it was all a coup anyway. Like, movie's about to start. What are your thoughts, feelings, opinions? You excited?
I'm excited, mostly just because I love Jessie, and also like you were saying earlier, like the whole like woman behaving badly, and also like Maggie's kind of like gritty, uncomfortable tone that she brings to the project she works on. I'm excited. Also, they're like setting this in a different time period.
It's like 1950s or something like that. Tommy guns, mafia.
It sounds great. I loved Lisa Frankenstein when they took the like classic Frankenstein story and set it in a completely different time period. I thought that was super fun.
I love Lisa Frankenstein. I love that movie. I think the only thing I'm not excited for, and this is so bratty, the AMC that we're going to right now doesn't have reclining chairs, and it's an over 2 hour long movie, and that's just kind of the worst. But it's okay. It's fine. I'll live.
Gonna have to treat myself to an icy.
Yeah.
To get through no recliner.
They're like the stadium seating too. So it's like, I don't know. This one's also like in the fanciest area where we live, so it's like they deserve better chairs.
It's tricky because this theater has the most amount of showings. They like show like the more obscure indie films that they don't play at the other AMCs near us. And I did hear some rumors though that this AMC is getting like some renovation.
Yeah, I did hear that too. One thing I wanted to say before I forget is that this movie is formatted for IMAX.
Yeah.
And we are not watching IMAX. Sorry. It's at like 5 p.m. But I might go see it again this week just to see it in IMAX. Just to see.
I would love to see this one in IMAX too.
The whole shebang about it. So
that's another benefit of AMC A-List. If you're unfamiliar, is you get to see it in any format you want. Any format.
Sponsor
us. IMAX movies are a pretty penny. Like, don't they cost like $20-$30?
Yeah. Like, I went and saw, oh man, I don't remember what I saw in IMAX, but I was bringing somebody and their ticket was like $30.
I think the last IMAX I saw was No Other Choice.
Oh, yeah. That was the one.
Which was so good on that screen. Like, the cinematography in that is unmatched.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he is not up for more awards this season.
I wonder if, I know the award season has a cutoff, and so I wonder if it was just, well, okay, it used to have a cutoff. Marty Supreme came out on Christmas. Yeah. When I feel like it used to be. So
it should be part of the.
November was like the cutoff. Maybe I'll Google that after.
They bend the rules for Timmy.
I hate that man. He's on my list. Read my Substack about it.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see you on the other side.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. I forgot to walk away last time. I was slower.
Took everything in me not to say anything leaving the theater.
Okay.
To save it for the pod.
Say your things.
I am willing to look over any flaw or criticism you or anyone has about this movie. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
You did.
Automatically 5 stars.
I think I'll give it 4 stars because I feel like I lost the plot a couple of times.
It's okay if you don't like it.
No, I did like it. That was the problem. I was like watching this and I was like, movie, good, fun. And then I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah. It definitely, I think, is going to be a turnoff for actually a lot of people because it's not a movie that holds your hand at all. It's very chaotic in the way it tells the story.
I was like, for quite a few scenes, I was like, wow, stage play.
Yeah.
I was like, this would look fantastic, like, on Broadway. Split somebody on the side, the narrator on the side talking, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was interesting.
I will say, check the parents' guide. Do not bring your children to this movie.
Oh, no.
That is not what I'm saying. Like, check it for yourself because it is quite graphic.
Yes. I mean, it's a horror movie, right? Like,
it is really uncomfy.
Yeah.
But I loved it so much.
It is.
So good. So I obviously really love this movie. I thought it was brilliant. But what would you like to say or chat about?
Oh, man. So I couldn't tell the difference between some, like, continuity errors and purposeful choices. I think I would have to, like, watch it again. Like, sometimes she wouldn't have the makeup on her cheek, and sometimes she would have the makeup on her cheek, and I was like, okay, like, is this just, like, is this old? Is this, okay. This one's a little bit hard to do spoiler-free.
Yeah.
But I say right when there is the concept of reanimation, I think is like a spoiler-free zone. So everything else I feel like we can talk about vaguely. But like it begins with like this woman, Ida, who ends up dying, and then like the Frankenstein plot comes in. And I couldn't tell the difference between like Ida before, Ida after a couple of times.
I think that's one of the themes they're exploring in the movie is who am I? Why am I here?
Yes. And so I do think that that like is not a flaw of the movie as much as it is like difficult to follow. Yeah. And
don't forget too, there's also a narration by Mary Shelley herself that makes things really interesting.
Yes. So it's like, is this Mary Shelley's story? Is this actually happening? I felt very conflicted in that sense, but I do think that like that is all purposeful on the artist's part. I do feel like I can confidently, so when in writing that's just like how much like my brain wanted to like back up.
Like pushing the rewind button.
I know. So in writing, there's like this joke if you're a pantser or a plotter, right? And sometimes you're a plantser, where it's like a little bit of both. And so pantsing is like you go by the seat of your pants, you just like write, and then like you fix it all in post. And then a plotter is somebody who has like all those
plans set out.
And I think like, you know, plotters are like kind of like the Avengers movies, right? Like they plan those way far in advance. I think Guillermo del Toro is like definitely like a plotter. Horror in general has to have like a concept of plot to really work. Maggie Gyllenhaal, Pancer. I felt that aura from the beginning. Like, you can tell that the story both found itself and the characters both found itself at the same time, which I did admire. But it was also a little bit difficult. I think. So that's kind of like what bumps it down for me.
And for me, that's what made it interesting. Because there also was some, like, question about the time period it was set in. That also, I was like, okay, it's set in this time, but then other times there were, like, there were musical choices or costume choices that took me out of it and made me feel like, well, that couldn't happen in that time period. But then I remembered that it was, like, Mary Shelley sort of character narrating it. And I felt like that's, like, what made it so interesting and makes me want to go back to watch it again.
I feel like I want to check out the IMAX. The IMAX, because it's like, whoa. That probably was even crazier. There were a couple points when I was like, wow, I wish the sound design was louder. And I feel like IMAX will fix that.
Probably will.
I don't know. Like, I liked it a lot. I think Jessie Buckley has a brilliant body embodiment to her acting.
She's a chameleon. You throw her in any movie and I think she would just crush it.
Did you watch I'm Thinking of Ending Things?
Yes.
That's her. I didn't even know that. But yeah, There was a couple of points when I was like looking at Christian Bale as Frankenstein, and I was like, wow, I wish that was Jacob Elordi. Not because I think Jacob Elordi's better, but because like his Frankenstein design from Guillermo del Toro's movie, like the makeup? Loved his design in that movie.
I think that was the only thing I liked about that movie.
Yeah. I know.
Probably gonna get some hate for that, but
people like really liked that movie. I think
a lot of people loved it. It's like in everyone's Letterboxd top 4.
I thought people missed it. That's what it felt like. I feel like the movie people watched it and then the people missed it, which I do think constitutes as like a level of flop.
Yeah. I thought he was a cute Frankenstein. Like,
he was adorable.
There were people like who were like, "Oh, Frankenstein," and I was like, "He's kind of cute."
No, I was saying that's Christian Bale, and Christian Bale's hot. And I think that's what I was missing. There were a couple points when like they were like in on his face, and it was just like, this is a horrendous monster who can't find love from anybody. And I'm just like, I mean, like, just tell them you were in an accident, and somebody will love you.
He was a hot Frankenstein.
Yeah. Sorry, somebody was driving away very bizarrely. Like, their door was open. She was, like, leaning out of it. Scary. Parking lot problems. Yeah, but no, like, he was a hot Frankenstein, which I do think detracts from the story.
The horror of who Frankenstein is.
I think, like, I don't know. I almost wish the mad scientist were a man, because I feel like that would have made her choices make more sense to me.
Yeah.
But also internalized misogyny, I guess.
I thought the female doctor was an interesting choice.
Yes. I thought she was she looked so familiar as an actress.
She did. And her assistant, too.
Yeah. And so I did wish that her assistant had more of a hand in it. And I wish that she was, like, a little bit younger, because I was, like, I love the trope of, like, old mad scientist gets young person to do their bidding for them.
A little detail, and I don't think this is a spoiler entirely.
Yeah.
Because if you've seen the previews, you've seen that
the
bride's got this, like, splatter of makeup. Mm-hmm. There's a point early on where her assistant has it on her face.
Yeah.
Did you catch that the first time?
No.
She brings a newspaper to the doctor, and she's got it on her face. And I was hoping that was signaling she was playing a larger role in this movie, and it just felt like
I think she just
a little bit of an
agreed
afterthought, or she was like background.
I think it's just because she agreed with the concept of like
what was going on.
Yeah. Femme fatale, vive la revolution. So,
yeah. Can we talk about the whole Maggie of it all and Jake of it all?
Yeah. I mean,
you saw the cameo of her, right?
No. I missed her.
Okay. She's in it for a little hot second, but what did you think about, like...
The Jake Gyllenhaal part was very interesting because I do understand the loneliness of Frankenstein being obsessed with an actor because, I mean, maybe we should just mark this spoilers. This movie is so hard to talk about without any context, because I do think that, like, even from the beginning, I felt like everything was a twist.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll mark this one asterisk.
Potential spoilers. If you're hoping to see this movie and you don't want to know anything going into it, pause the episode, come back later.
Yeah.
We're not going to give away, like, key moments.
No. But, like, some of these, like, concepts, I think, are what I want to talk about. And I just think that, like, watching them on your own is a good idea. But, so Frankenstein is just this lonely creature, right? And he, latches on to Jake Gyllenhaal's character, who's what, Robbie Rod.
Yeah.
Like, he just has, like, one of those, like, 1950s motion picture whatever, right? Names. And he's, like, in all the movies, and all Frankenstein can do, because he can only go out at night, be in the dark, whatever, the only social interaction he gets is by going to these movies. And that's, like, why he wants a bride and why he gets into this whole mess. But my kind of hesitancy on buying that part of his obsession, that part of his, like, love for that guy is, like, the homosexual undertones of it, right? Like, he wants companionship, he wants love, he, like, has, like, these ideals, and he, like, latched onto this guy, and he's just like, I credit you with giving me hope, right? And it's just like, what about him, like, gives him hope, especially because there were, like, bits and pieces. I do think that idea morphed later, very obviously, but, like, in one of the first, like, movie scenes, he's, like, in the background, he's just a background character, and then it kind of morphs outside of that, and so I just feel like that part of the storyline was a little mixed for me. It felt like, that's where I was like, this is a pantser who's writing, where it's like, oh yeah, like, this concept is good, but does it fit within the concept? Like, did this just fall out of a coconut tree, or does it exist within the context of all of which came before us?
And that's so funny, because to me it was the opposite experience, that I felt like that was something she had planned from the beginning, was that there was going to be, like, some self-insertion of, like, these characters into each other's plots.
Yeah, very interesting. So, yeah, I do feel like I'll have to see it again.
Yeah.
Like, to really appreciate it, to really get into it, I want to watch it again.
I think the first time was to experience the feeling.
Yes.
And see what the story was, and the second time we'll be able to go and,
like, appreciate
the details, because to me it felt like there's no way she just, like, came up with all of that and just threw it together. Like, there had to be some intention.
Like, I don't think that there's a lack of intention. I think that, like...
Right, I guess that wasn't the right way to say it, but...
But, like, I think that is a good thing for me to clarify. Like, I don't think she lacks intention. I just felt like I lost the plot a lot. Like, I felt like there were just a lot of really experimental choices that made it hard to sell fully for me. So, but I liked it.
I'm gonna check.
I
So
know.
scared.
But I liked it. It was a good movie.
It was fantastic. It was so fun, entertaining,
Yeah.
laughing, crying.
The music
the
choices
things.
were also interesting. Like,
The choreography.
Yeah. There were a couple of, like, pieces. I think this movie sits really good in conversation with Wuthering Heights. Not because it offers the same experience, but because I think that it tries to do a lot of the similar exploratory things.
Exploring obsessive love and identity
But I think this one does it better.
Yeah,
And
I think
also,
so too.
Yeah, and, like, also, like, the mixture of, like, you know, like, Charlie XCX and the Wuthering Heights, audio.
Soundtrack?
Soundtrack. I said read my brain right now. Charlie XCX and the soundtrack, and then, like, in this one there was, like, a couple of moments of, like, really intense techno music, stuff like that. And
I
it was
feel
just
like
very...
the music, the soundtrack of this really enhanced the story.
Yes.
Like, it enhanced the storytelling. And for me, that was maybe one of its flaws, is there's a couple of choices that took me out just because it felt like a different time period. And so I was like, what is this story? But then later on, I think it made more sense, and that's why I'm excited to see it again. But I think a key moment for me was at the end of the film. One of the final scenes, it felt so operatic and almost a little silly, but it was like the music that really enhanced that moment.
I do think that this movie could have leaned a little bit heavier into the comedy of it all. I think that a lot of this was just so ridiculous, but in, like, a really good way.
Yeah.
And I think I would have liked that a little bit. Again, there were the parts that, like, made me kind of, like, lose the plot were, like, the detective following them around. I'm not gonna spoil, like, that interaction, but it's just, like, the detective was like, huh. I was like, which of the white men from the beginning is he? And he was like, none of them.
Right. But then I think once we find out his story and his role, it makes a lot more sense. And I thought his counterpart, there's a female detective.
Yeah.
She was a really interesting character foil to the bride in Frankenstein as well.
Yeah, her and so there was, like, this detective duo where it's, like, this woman who, like, isn't allowed to be a detective and, like, this man, and their dynamic was comical, and, like, I feel like it wasn't
They could have done more with that?
It wasn't leaned into enough. Like, they were almost too funny for how serious they were acting near the end.
Yeah.
And so, again, like, I think that those types of foils would have been really interesting. Like, I feel like there was a lot of, like, it's not called, like, body humor, but, you know, like, the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
Where it's, like, you, like, step on a broom and it hits you in the face.
They could have
like,
done...
There were moments of that, it felt like, in the film.
Yeah.
That I think that would have kept me a little bit more engaged. Because I think it would have, like, taken me out of, like, analyzing the whole thing and, like, given me... It's like, oh, sometimes I did find myself, I was like, I'd see an interaction and then I'd kind of miss, like, the next scene because I'm thinking about that interaction. And I feel like...
You're busy analyzing, so you couldn't, like, experience it.
Yeah, I think that there would be a lot of good moments to, like, pull me back in. But I'm not a director.
I also just went into this movie maybe in a mood that I was like, I am just going to chill.
Yeah.
And let this just, like, wash over me. And I went for a ride.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I loved it so much. Because I was just like, I'm excited to see where this story is going to go.
Yeah. I think I went into it once the very first couple of scenes happened that, like, really just shocked me. I was like, wow, there's so much I need to pay attention to now.
Yeah.
So...
It's so weird.
It's
weird. So Maggie. I am so excited for the future of the movie industry because I hope she has a little part in it. Like, I hope we see a lot more from her.
Yeah. Do you think it counts as a monster fucker movie?
Yes.
If one of them's not human?
Yeah. I think it counts. I would put it into that.
Into a monster
category.
Fucker movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you?
That's what I'm debating. Like, what constitutes that type of movie? Like, remember, did you watch Kim Possible?
Yeah.
There was that one, like, swamp monster who, like, I think ended up being, like...
Hold on, back up just a second. There are very few ginger idols to look up to. Yes, Grace, I have watched Kim Possible. You and I
felt myself regret asking that.
Sorry, you can continue with your thought.
No, it's okay. But I felt this interaction about to happen because I was like, did you watch Kim Possible? Of course you watched Kim Possible. Anyway, there's, like, a swamp monster in one of those or whatever, and, like, I don't know, it felt like there was a love plot line in there, but now I can't remember my whole point of this. But
does it qualify as a monster fucker movie?
That qualifies to me. Yes, that episode of Kim Possible qualifies to me, and so that's kind of, like, my bare minimum standard.
Yeah.
But, like, when two monsters are in love, like, what... I feel like that may be, like, a divergence on that path.
M on M.
MLM relationship. That's... Is that accidentally homophobic? That's so funny, though.
Oh, my God.
Justin's not a homophobe, I promise. Yeah. What a movie. So interesting.
Yeah, it was a really fun time.
Yeah, it was a really good time.
I'm just giggling.
It was really
so
long.
Great. It is a longer movie, and it did feel that way too. Like, you feel like you're sitting down to watch a movie, but I feel like the scenes were action packed.
Yes.
And pretty fast. There's only a couple of times where things could have, like, the pacing could have flowed a little bit faster, but I liked it. Like, I needed the pauses in between all the action.
Yeah. I do feel like we're losing the plot of the sequence. Or, like, not the plot, but, like, the art of the sequence, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of movies where it's like, we would benefit from not having, like, a time jump sequence here, but they put it there and we lose a lot of plot. And there's another group of movies where it's like, I'm going to give you these scenes that I thought out that could have, like, easily been, like, these fun sequences with songs over it that, like, would have given me the same effect. So I feel...
How do you feel like that, like, measured up with this movie?
I think that there was, like, a little chunk near the beginning of the third act, like, in that transition period, where, like, I would have just loved, like, a comedic, like, cop chase scene instead of, like, scene, you know, like, something to kind of, like, push us ahead a little bit more. Because I do think that we got the point. Yeah. And then they showed us, like, a couple more scenes to, like, give those characters, like, solidify their actions. And it's like, I'm not sure we need all of this.
So maybe I feel like in that case they could have just, like, cut out a scene or something in there. Because I think that we did get a cop chase scene that was super fun. Arguably way better than One Battle After Another.
Not watching that movie.
I'm going to be so disappointed if it takes home more than its fair share. Yeah, I don't think it was that great. It wasn't bad, but it was not great. And there's so many better contenders. Anyways, the cop chase scene in this was super well done, I thought.
Yeah. I think that was really well done. So I just think that, like, that would happen, and then there'd be something a little less important. And, like, I feel like something like that would convey the same thing as the next scene, and it's like, I feel like we can get rid of this.
I think that's a part of, like, high art, is being able to, like, curate it down to the most essential, and maybe that's something that this movie could have done a little bit better, but at the same time there's so little hand-holding in the way it tells the story that, like, you need a lot of context maybe to understand the points that she's trying to make.
I think there's a really big fight in Hollywood right now between, like, Wuthering Heights is a TikTok movie. Like, you can watch it in between scrolling. Yeah. This isn't a TikTok movie. You have to kind of be locked in, attention, or you're not gonna get it. But at the same time, where's that, like, in between? Where's, like, the like, I'm not saying that this one needs to be it, but I think that, like, we're having no movies where, like, you can take a bathroom break and come back.
Like, you're not going to be on your phone, but if you look away for a second, you're not going to, like, miss the whole point of the movie.
Yeah. So I feel like we're losing a little bit of that. But
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? It's an interesting one.
I'm going to be thinking about this movie for a long time. And probably have many other thoughts. Probably could write a whole other podcast or book about this.
I do think that I want to go back and watch, like, Maggie Gyllenhaal's interviews. I want to watch the interviews with Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley. I think the one thing that isn't true is I don't think this is the same as, like, a female rage movie in the way that we understand it in a genre right now. Like, like, I support women's wrongs, whatever. There weren't women's wrongs in this movie.
Right. Anytime things went wrong, I felt like it was totally justifiable.
Yes, like, they're, like,
had nothing to do with gender.
Yeah, and not even in the like, women deserve to have a little violence type of way, like, in the complete opposite way, in a, like, this is the type of violence that is fully justified when you are faced with something in these situations. So
I think tonally and visually, this movie reminded me a lot of The Joker. I think
Joker was good.
Yeah, I actually want to rewatch The Joker now, but I think if people enjoyed The Joker and kind of the dark tones and themes and the way it explored mental health and in that regard, this movie would be a good match.
Yeah, it was very interesting. So watch out for Jess's Letterboxd on it. 5 stars.
Already gonna be 5 stars. You don't even have to check. It just is.
I'm probably gonna like 4.5 minimum. I really liked it. I don't know. I feel like it missed some marks for me. Yeah. But not in like a detrimental type of way.
It.
I am being nitpicky. I promise that.
No, it's okay. I think there are going to be a lot of people who this movie is not for who are going to rate it quite lowly.
Yes.
And that's okay. Because to me, my opinion is superior.
That's why we have a podcast.
I'm the only one who has to like it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Else are we getting into this week, Jess?
This week we have a special treat for you. Because we're going to do a bonus episode. Bonus! To the 10 people who've discovered our podcast so far.
I don't know. We have a lot of interactions on our socials. It's kind of a fun time.
I think it's going to be really fun for you to say that you were here from the start.
Hell yeah.
Which is why we're giving you a little treat, which is a bonus episode on AMC's Screen Unseen. Grace, would you mind sharing with us what this is all about?
Screen Unseen. I feel like, I don't know when this started. I know that other movie theaters also offer Mystery Mondays. But about every single Monday at AMC, they offer you a screen unseen, sometimes called a scream unseen if it's a horror movie. And you get to watch a movie, no questions asked, you don't know what it's about, you get the rating, so that you know if you can take your kids to it. It's cheaper. It's like $7 when a movie ticket's like $15 right now. It is included in the A-list, so.
They also give you an approximate runtime.
Yes,
not the exact.
It's never exact, so that people can't guess which movie it is. Even though there is a whole Reddit dedicated to the movie, which I do follow religiously. I try to go a couple Mondays a month, because I think it's really fun. Sometimes they show like bigger, like anticipated movies. Like they're never going to show an Avengers movie there. But they did show with the AI girlfriend, Sophie Thatcher was a robot in it. It came out last year. Oh, it was really, really good. Companion. 1 year I did see Companion there, but then like the next week, one day I did see Companion there, but then the next week I saw like this movie called like My Dead Friend Zoe, which was like an independent film that I don't even think had any more screenings that week after that. So it's like a mixed bag. You can get anything out of it, but I do think it's a good time if you never know like what you want to do. You want to go see a movie, but you're not sure what. You want to take the thought out of everything. I'd go see a screen unseen, and that's what we're gonna do this week.
Yes. So bonus episode coming your way. Keep your ears open.
Keep your ears locked in.
That's a really weird way to say things. Yeah, I love the whole screen unseen concept. I'm someone who usually plans out everything I'm going to see and likes to know ahead of time, and I think it's a good exercise in letting go of control.
Yeah.
My 2 experiences with it have been fantastic. They've actually both been with Grace.
Oh.
The first time we went, and it was Eternity, which is a movie I was really hoping to see in theaters, and I was worried I wouldn't be able to see because it's an A24, and sometimes those like artsy films, they just don't have as many showings near us. So that was a fantastic surprise and fun to see it a little bit ahead of its release.
Yeah.
And then the second movie we went to go see was a Scream Unseen.
Yes.
And it was the European Frankenstein.
Yeah, it was. No, Dracula.
It was the European Dracula.
Yeah,
I'm getting my monsters really mixed up. That's a monster mash.
No, the Dracula was really good, even though I've heard mixed things about its reception. I liked that movie a lot. I think it was like the last movie we saw before starting this podcast.
I think it's really good too because you can go into the movie and have absolutely no context or preconceived notions.
Yeah.
And you can walk out of that movie with your own opinion and your own feelings without being influenced by whatever like is buzzing around on the internet.
Yeah, I do. There are a lot of walkouts at these screenings, which is really funny to me because it's like, you know what the deal is here. Why are you walking out on this movie? I've seen some really bad screen unseens because they've just been like really bad movies in general.
Yeah.
So we've gotten pretty lucky, and so I'm hoping tomorrow's is a pretty good one.
We'll find out.
We'll see.
Anything else you'd like to add, Grace?
Follow us on our socials. We have a TikTok, an Instagram, a Substack, and a YouTube if you're watching this. They're already, or if you're listening on Spotify, they're all Dashboard Discourse. Feel free to leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast app you're listening to. If for some reason your preferred listening app doesn't have us on it yet, let us know. We'll add it, and then you can go back to your little life on that app.
Absolutely.
And let us know what you think.
Any feedback would mean the world to us. Speaking of TikTok real quick. If you want to hop on over there, let us know what your thoughts were on the Dollar Theater. I'm believing now that I've been gaslit. However, there could be a number of you who also are in Grace's shoes, and I'm just like an anomaly. So
an anomaly. Sorry, I wasn't gonna call that out.
I was gonna call myself out. I'm just slower. So yeah, we'd love to see you online. Feel free to shoot us a DM. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we could do better, and we're happy you're here.
Yeah, send this to your friends if you want them to watch whatever movie you're obsessed with. That's right. And hopefully we'll convince them.
This episode will most certainly convince them to watch The Bride.
It was a good movie.
If there's anything I'm certain of. Yeah.
All right. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.